All right, good evening. It's 6:31, September 22nd. My name is Brian Rowley, and I am opening the Newmarket Budget Committee. So we'll start with the Pledge of Allegiance. Pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. I will take a quick roll call. Brian Ward is absent. Danielle Honan is absent. Justin Lucer, present. Chris Blackstone is excused. Carl Blackstone, present. Okay. Scott Foster, here. Jeffrey Boyd is absent. And Brian Rowley, present. Going to open to the public at 6:32, and seeing no members of the public, we'll close the public session. And today we have Bill Tappan from the town going to run us through the town budget for financials for us.
Okay. Well, I'll apologize up front for being not being good at hearing right now or speaking. So I got a cold somehow over the evening, and it's really sticking with me today. So we're looking at August, and which is our period 2 for fiscal year 2026. As of the month of August, our total revenue collected across all funds reached $18.2 million, which is 68% of budgeted revenues, compared to 17.3, which was 79% or 69%, excuse me, at the same point last year. Expenditures totaling $4.35 million, which is 25% of the budget, consistent with last year's pace of 25%. Overall, the town's finances remain stable, with revenues tracking close to expectations and expenditures well within appropriations, as would be expected in period 2. The town's financial position is stable 2 months into the fiscal year. Revenues align with previous trends, and expenditures remain within budget limits. No adjustments are currently necessary. However, changes for services and permitting revenues will be monitored for possible year-end changes. Expense highlights. You can see in your report the bullets. General fund, $2.4 million spent, or 23%, which is closely aligned with last year's 22%. And most departments are at this point within expected range. The IT department is high at 47%, and the reason for that is essentially contracted software licenses, and you pay up front for the majority of the year for much of it. And assessing, which is already at 41%, front-loaded by, again, software and contract services. Insurance P&L, that also gets usually paid up front for annual premiums, and some of the debt is also paid early up front. Debt transfers okay, so I skipped ahead a little bit. The transfers to capital reserves are always done at the beginning of the year, so that's generally going to be at 100%, unless somebody decided they wanted to amend something, which almost never happens. Revenue highlights. General fund collected $16.8 million, or 82% of the budget, primarily driven by property taxes and fund balance transfers. And our performance in this area is nearly identical to last year's 83%. Licenses, permits, and fees at 18%, collected trending slightly behind last year's 23%, and that's, we believe, driven by reduced building permit activity at this point. Charges for services currently negative due to timing of ambulance receipts, though expected to reconcile as billing catches up. And then wastewater, water and wastewater funds, both funds are on pace at 22 and 24% collected, consistent with fiscal year '25. And that is pretty much it in terms of the highlights of where we are at period 2. And then below that in the report, you'll notice there's the schedule for what's happening with the town for budgeting, and I believe you and Steve have already gone back and forth a little bit about whether or not this aligns with your budget committee's dates.
Yep. And I think
So.
we're just probably going to try and add one more snow day in January, and we'll communicate that out to everybody and be good to go.
Great. So that's what I have.
Okay. Any
for period
questions
2.
from anybody? Bill, thank you so much. Really appreciate you coming in and walking us through this. And no questions from my side. Like you said, this early in the year, I think it's pretty straightforward. So appreciate the update.
Just one quick question.
Yes.
I don't know what the numbers were for anticipated revenue or income from the building permits. Do we think that's going to probably stay lower than what was originally
Yeah.
budgeted or planned on?
I'm hoping that it stays what we were thinking, but it's interesting you asked that question because I was thinking about it on that as I was sitting in the car earlier, just thinking to myself, geez, I hope it's a little more art than science. I'm afraid when you're doing your your forecasting for the next year. And we just, as you probably know, we're well into already developing our budgets, and they've been sent to the town manager, and he's been in his review process. Dave and I will sit down, Dave Evans, the building person, and we'll go over what we know in terms of what planned development is coming and so on, and try to determine whether or not there's going to be X percent increase or decrease, or if it's going to remain the same. It's hard to tell. We really try to do it as, I don't want to use the word scientific because it seems like I'm taking up a notch more than what, it seems like we do, but actually we do try to track, but it really isn't necessarily based on averages or anything. It is based on, okay, what are we seeing in terms of planning? What are people coming in for, permits for? It's hard to tell. So we've had a couple of years where we were thinking it was going to be lower than it was, and it turned around mid-year. So I know it's not the best answer.
No, it's more of a curious, because it's not like a huge number that's going to kill your budget if
No.
you don't have as many permits as you thought you were going to be giving out. But
It's true, but it's a number we pay attention to because it's nice revenue. It's kind of like the other one in there I was also thinking about is interest on investment revenue, where we were getting, it was languishing for years, and then we made some changes and the economy shifted, and boom, all of a sudden we're doing well in our investment returns. So it seems a little bit slow right now, which seems odd. But so when I go back tomorrow, get back in the office tomorrow, I'll be looking at that again, like, okay, let's answer this question if we can. So,
Thanks.
hope that answers.
Bill, thank you so much.
You're welcome.
Appreciate it.
Have a nice evening.
Feel better. So we have 2 sets of minutes that need approving. My apologies. We skipped July, and I think I got confused and thought, we don't have anything to approve. So they're the June 23rd minutes and the August 25th minutes. My understanding is that only members who were present are able to approve the minutes. So unfortunately, we don't have enough folks present to approve the June 23rd minutes, but we can review and approve the August 25th minutes because all of us were here for that. So don't know if you've had a chance to read through, if we should just take a quick moment to kind of run through.
I had a quick question. It's more of a housekeeping thing.
Of course.
Thinking about the poor person who does the scribe, I guess. Is it really necessary to write down everything that the gentleman told us about his history and his background? I forgot his name now. But Brian Lee.
Yeah.
Seems like a whole paragraph plus of extraneous knowledge. That could have been done with, gave a brief history of his, of his, I'm just curious, it's again, a housekeeping issue.
Yeah, I guess I don't know what the requirements are. I can certainly, I think the only person I can think of to check with would be Steve as to what the requirements are. I know, but I think Patricia is just making sure that's thorough
And certainly appreciate
Yeah.
that, but if she doesn't have to do that going
Spare
forward and
her
save her a
right,
little bit of
right.
time and energy, and it was a curiosity.
absolutely makes sense.
Other than that, I didn't see anything wrong with the minutes.
Okay. Anybody else have any? No? Is there a motion to approve the minutes from August 25th?
I'll make a motion to approve.
Justin Lucer made a motion. Anybody second that motion? Seconded by Carl Blackstone. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Okay, unanimously approved. I think the last kind of open item is the vice chair. Apologize, didn't put that on the agenda here. Justin, appreciate you being our September vice chair. Probably do another kind of go around to see if there's interest in being vice chair. I believe, Carl, you've expressed interest. I wonder if maybe we should have more of the committee when we make that decision, if that's all right with you. But should we make a motion, perhaps? I would propose vote Carl in for the October vice chair, and then when a larger group convenes, we can do a more formal kind of approval. Does that sound good?
Sure.
All right, so motion to, anybody make a motion to vote Carl for the vice chair?
I'll make a motion.
Okay, motion by Justin Lucer. Anybody second?
I'll second.
All right, seconded by Scott Foster. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Okay, approved unanimously. Unless there's anything else, our next meeting is October 27th. As Bill was saying, Steve just provided a couple days ago the kind of final schedule for the rest of the year up into January. So we're getting into kind of our busy time and the really kind of important time for the budget committee. We'll be doing the public hearings and getting presentations from the town and school, and then voting on the budgets and signing off on those. So yeah, we'll go over that next meeting. I'll send something out beforehand just to make sure it makes sense on everybody's schedules. And if it's helpful, I put together kind of like a Google Calendar, so maybe you can subscribe to it. I don't know if that helps. These, of course, are always on the town. That's kind of the, source of truth, but, it might be a little more convenient to be able to just have yourself get a ping or something. So, yeah, we're just looking to add maybe one more bad weather day in January, and then that'll be finalized, and I'll share that out. So with that, is there a motion to adjourn?
So moved?
All right, motion by Scott Foster to adjourn, seconded.
Second.
Second by Justin Lucer. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
All right, thank you so much.